Yeah, I mean, it's the defense, obviously, that we've been concentrating on, and our help was good tonight. We forced them into threes, above grade threes, and our multiple efforts were really good on the defensive end. Um, Obviously, the numbers show like we held them to 36 from two and 26 from three. But yeah, it's a defensive effort. If we can do that, if we can finish plays with rebounds, then we can get out and run. That's what we do best. So yeah, I'm super encouraged by our intensity on the defensive end, and then turning that defense into offense is important for us.
Can you talk about the way Jabari played tonight?
He was good. He was really, I mean, again, defensively, he's in the right spots. He's long, he's athletic, he is in the gap, then he's closing out for bless you.
Thank you.
And then offensively, he was making shots. And what we did tonight is we really shared the basketball. And for us to be good, that's going to have to be a constant as far as us moving the ball to the open guy. It doesn't have to be a spectacular play at all. Just a simple play, draw the second defender, make a simple play to your teammate, and that's what we did for him.
How do you feel about how?
Some open shots.
I'm sorry about that.
No.
How do you feel about how Alper and Shamoon and Jabari played off one another when they were on the floor together?
It looked good. It looked good. Alfie kind of in the paint and Jabari on the perimeter. They still have to kind of find some because when Alfie catches it a little bit higher, like at the nail or in the elbow or on the short roll or the pick and roll, everybody, not just Jabari, but everybody kind of has to get a good feel for what we want in those situations. Turned out pretty good tonight, but we did have some turnovers as a result. So that's definitely something that we're gonna have to clean up. But conceptually, it does look good that we have shooting on the floor and Alfie in the paint.
Coach, you talked about.
Coach, you just finished talking about this team's ability to share the ball. Can you just talk about the growth that you've seen from Kevin Porter Jr.?
Yeah, I mean, Scoop played a very good game tonight, and he didn't score. He didn't score well. He didn't shoot the ball well. He made the corner three in the second half, but overall, what was he? 3 for 9 from the field, and plus 23 in his minutes. And he was making the right plays to his teammates. He didn't turn it over very much, and he was right there defensively. So yeah, if him and Jalen have off night shooting, which they both did, and we can still play effective basketball, that's good for the Rockets.
Bruno being the first.
Preseason is a preseason, but for a team that's still trying to learn how to win consistently, what can you take away from winning a game like this during preseason?
Yeah, I mean, any game you play, you want to win, and we have competitive guys. So yeah, it feels good to get off on a winning note for sure. But there's a lot we have to clean up, and we're gonna take tomorrow off, and then we're gonna get to 3 days of practice where we will get to clean some of this stuff up and hopefully improve, because there's a lot to improve.
Bruno being the first big off the bench, what has he been bringing in this last 4 or 5 days?
Exactly what you saw. Rim threat when it comes to the roll, offensive rebounding, protect the rim defensively as far as his shot blocking. His athleticism is just a game changer for us, because we have Albie, who's so skilled but not unique, not quite as athletic, and then Bruno could come in and be athletic and really, really roll hard, which opens it up for everybody. So yeah, his activity, his athleticism are things that we look forward to.
Has some of that progressed since he had 10 games with you last year that he played in, but has some of it improved?
Yeah, it has improved. I mean, he's been with us all summer, and he's been around, and he's been fun to be with, but it has improved. We didn't have him for very long last year, so maybe we didn't get a good look, and we got to know him. He got to know us this summer, but sometimes for bigs, it takes a little longer for them to kind of start to get a little bit, and hopefully this is it.
Coach, you talked about the simple things. Late in the fourth quarter, around about 7 minutes left, your defense was able to come up with a shot clock violation, and I think you clapped harder then than you had probably clapped the whole game. Was that what you mean by just the simple things, those things that don't show up in the box scores but will show up on the film?
For sure. I mean, multiple effort defense where we do a good job with our initial coverage, whether it's pick and roll, dribble, handoff, or ISO coverage. And then as the ball gets sprayed out, scrambling and helping your teammate and keeping the ball out of the paint and making them make an extra pass. And if we could do that, that would be really good. Getting teams to shoot late in the shot clock means that we're giving effort throughout the shot clock. So if we have possessions like we had tonight where they were shooting with 2-1 shot clock violation possessions, then that's a good indicator of what we're doing as far as playing hard on the defense.
We had so much pick and roll tonight, and I know you mentioned pregame that you haven't put in some stuff
Right.
yet, but to have the vertical spacing that Bruno brings that's a little different from either the small ball centers or Alpi to some degree, is that part of the plan of, hey, you're going to run this much pick and roll, have a rim runner like that?
Yeah, it is. I mean, to have a dynamic roller it helps everybody. It helps the shooters on the perimeter. It helps the guys coming off the screen. It helps so much. So yeah, we are a heavy pick and roll team. Even when I have the whole playbook in, we're still going to be a heavy pick and roll team. So to have that dynamic roller is important.
First half, you staggered Kevin and Jalen quite a bit. Is that something that you're looking to do a little more often? And what are you looking for when one of them is on the floor and the other isn't?
Yeah, tonight wasn't necessarily an indicator of much when it comes to the lineup, to the rotations. I was just trying to see a bunch of different lineups, seeing a bunch of different combinations. So that kind of remains to be seen. But when Kevin's on the floor and Jalen's not on the floor, I want him to basically do the same thing, like be a playmaker, whether it's for himself or his teammates. If he's going to score and the help comes, I want him to make a play. If it doesn't come, I want him to finish. And for Jalen, when Scoot isn't on the floor, same thing. It doesn't really change very much. He's a primary scorer, and a lot of plays are going to go to him, but he also has to be in the right spots and make the right plays when he's coming off and make quick decisions. So, yeah, it doesn't change much when either guy's on.
Of those combinations, were there any other, I know you already spoke a little bit about Jabari and Alvin playing off of each other, were there any other pairs or trios of guys that you thought played really well with one another tonight?
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of guys who played well, obviously, but I like what Gation did when Scoot was in the game, those two guys, so Scoot could play a little bit off the ball, and Gation has the ball. That's something that's interesting. And then what KJ Martin gave to us as far as like just being organized when he's on the floor, he always makes us organized because when the ball stops, he's going to do something. He's going to low side screen, he's going to flash, he's going to cut, he's going to crash. And then Tari, we didn't run one play for Tari tonight, but his crashing and his knack for getting to the rim is good. So I'm going to have to watch the film to give you a better answer on that as far as the actual groups who play well together. But individually, we saw a lot of guys play.
As far as your rotation, you just mentioned, so it may be a case where next game you may have Tata coming a little bit earlier than you did this game since you had Nation as one of the first guards off the bench.
Not necessarily.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.